So we're looking at our last topic for the unit. So we're looking at transforming polynomial functions. So we're applying knowledge that we already have. So we've dealt with transformations before. We're just looking to put them to polynomials. So a lot of this is going to be review. So hopefully it comes back real quick. So first we have this chart of transformations that we need to remember. So these should look familiar to you. Biggest one, horizontal translation, that's the biggest one that people mess up. Remember we have the opposite sign inside because it's x minus h. So when it's a minus 5, we're going to the right 5. So that's probably the biggest one that people mess up. And then the other one that we need to be careful of is the flipping over the x and the y. So if we flip over the x-axis, we are putting a negative on the outside of the function, so everything becomes negative. The harder one is when we go over the y, we have to replace all of our x values with negative x, and then simplify from there. So we need to be careful there. All right, let's take a look. So we're probably going to go through the examples and skip over the checkpoints just to make the video a little quicker because it is review. So we have f of x given as x cubed. So g of x, this transformation takes place. So we need to describe the transformations. So the 5 inside, let's start there. 5 inside would be a shift to the left 5. So we're going to shift left 5. We're going to shift up because that is the k value on the outside. So we're going up 2. And this 3 on the outside is a vertical stretch by 3. Okay, if you're confused on where these are coming from, you can go ahead and pause and look at the chart. I'm gonna, like I said, this is review, so I'm just gonna kind of speed through this. If you have any questions, just go ahead and contact me, and we can talk about it. So this next one here. So we have x to the 4th. Here's the transformation or the new function. So we have a shift to the right 1. Right 1. We have a shift up 2. And this 1/4 out front, that is a vertical shrink. Okay, so vertical shrink. Vertical compression, let's call it a compression. That's what we've called it before. Vertical compression by 1/4. Okay. Alright, so writing transformed polynomials, so they give us an original. We have a transformation happening to the function, so x cubed plus 4. We are shifting up 3, so we're adding 3 onto the end. So we would add that to 4. So we get now a 7. So g of x equals 7. G of x, we have a shift to the right 5. That's how we see that, remember? It's inside parentheses. So if we're shifting to the right, means we're applying that to the x value. So all we have to do here is x minus 5. So we're replacing all the x's in the function with x minus 5. So x minus 5 to the 3rd plus 4. And now we are multiplying f of x by 2. So we're stretching by 2. So we go 2x to the 3rd plus 4. now, example 3. So we are using reflections now, x's and y's. So reflecting over the x-axis, remember we are just making all of the terms the opposite side. So we're going negative x cubed, we're going to positive 7x squared, negative 6x, and positive 5. And that's reflection over the x-axis. Now reflection over the y-axis, we are making all of the x's negative. So let's think about that. So negative x cubed. So I'm going to write that out real quick. So we can skip this step if you can think through this. So we have a negative x quantity cubed. That's going to end up being a negative x cubed because 3 negatives multiplied, that's going to be a positive. And then this next one, we have 7x to the negative x squared. So negative x squared is x squared, so that stays a negative 7x squared. Plus 6 times negative x. So we know that 6 times negative x is a negative 6x, so that switches to a negative. And then the minus 5. That just, we're not multiplying by x, so that stays the same. So real quick, what you can think about is if it's a odd power, we know that the sign will change for that term. If it's an even power term, then the sign stays the same. And then the last thing we want to do, the last example here, so combining polynomial transformations together. So write a function that transforms f of x, so here's our original function, in each of the following ways. So stretching vertically by a factor of 2 and shifting 3 units to the left. So remember, we're multiplying by 2 out front, so that's going to be a 6 out front. Shifting to the left 3 units, so we have inside parentheses a plus 3. So that's to the third power. Don't forget the third power, because that's what we had on the x. And then plus 6. Okay. Reflecting over the x-axis and shift 3 units up. So reflect over the x. So go over the x, and we're going to do that first. So we have a negative. So I'm applying this transformation before we make this shift. So we have that minus 6. So that's a reflection over the x-axis first. We always want to apply the reflection first before we do anything else. And now we're going to shift this up 3 units. So we're going to add 3 to the end. Okay, so that's kind of separate. So negative 3x cubed minus 3. And again, you can graph these at the end to see if it makes sense compared to your original function. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and we can go from there.